Okay, so here's the thing. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for checking it out if you're new. At the time of recording this, we are just about 2 weeks away from the Fantastic Four First Steps. This is of course the MCU reboot of the team that we're all hopeful will finally do the team justice. I've been going through every past Fantastic Four film trying to highlight their highs as well as their lows. And so, if you've been doing the math, there's one last one to watch, and that's 2015's The Fantastic Four, or as it's stylized, Fant4stic. This is, of course, the dark and gritty reboot that was a product of its time, thanks to Man of Steel and the Nolan trilogy, teaching everyone that superhero stories have to be dark and gritty to be taken seriously. And this movie, I'm sure you've heard, is a mess. The production was hell. There were 3 different versions of this movie written by 3 different people at 3 different points in time. But I'm not going to get too far into that. There are plenty of videos that go into more details of the production mess. I mean, you had the director, Josh Trank, literally say this movie sucks the day before it came out. That being said, I haven't seen it since theaters. So let's revisit it before First Steps comes out and see if there's anything good to say about this strange reboot. So we open the film where we see Reed and Ben as children, which I have to say, I think it's nice to see the origin of their friendship for once, instead of just being told. They're always already adults in the other movies. That being said, we also quickly learn that the world, specifically this universe, sucks. Everyone is a dick. Everyone is mean. Because you see, this child version of Reed shares during a career day that he wants to be the first person to create a teleporter. And what's his teacher do but tell him that's not a real job? Which, I don't know about you, I know you're a elementary school teacher and all, but scientist is a career, you idiot. Additionally, during this flashback, as everyone has pointed out, we learn the origin of Ben's iconic phrase.
Hey, clobber inside. What'd you think?
Crazy decision. I didn't love it being a marketing joke in the last set of movies, but at least it didn't have trauma linked to it. Like, I don't know if they were trying to go for a Deku-style reclamation of like, yeah, he says it now as he defeats evil, but it just feels wrong. But at the end of this flashback, we see that Ben and Reed finish their teleporter, and it actually works. And we learn a little bit later that this teleporter, if it's not built correctly, will create a black hole. I don't know about you, but I smell a Chekhov's gun. Fast forward 7 years, so now they're seniors in high school, which the movie's own dialogue establishes this, because it says they built the first teleporter in 5th grade, and then we get a title card, flash forward 7 years. So they are now 18 years old in their senior year of high school. And can I just say, these are the oldest 18-year-olds I've ever seen. Played by 27 and 28-year-old Jamie Bell and Miles Teller. Ben and Reed look huge in this scene, especially because they're literally in a fair filled with actual children, which just makes them stand out worse. I know we're going for the whole Ultimate Comics thing of the team being younger, but we couldn't find younger actors? That being said, with them being teenagers, I wonder if we'll explore them balancing their senior year of high school and being superheroes. Spoiler alert, we will not. And again, the science teacher still doesn't believe in science, further reinforcing that this guy and everyone in this universe sucks. He literally calls their teleporter magic, which, again, I'm no scientist, but I think I would believe them. They have all the evidence right there. But it isn't until they're approached by Dr. Franklin for a scholarship at the Baxter Institute to help perfect interdimensional travel. In fact, Dr. Franklin is the only nice person in this whole movie. So Reed goes to the Baxter Institute, leaving Ben for dead, as Ben literally is just not in the movie now. He's not the pilot like he usually is. Ben just leaves the movie until it's time to become the Thing. And there, Reed tries to make a relationship with Sue, and it's so awkward. She's not into him at all, and the 2 actors have no chemistry. That being said, of course, she has to look back and think about it. Like, girl, do not look back. We also learned from a briefing that this teleportation mission is to find new resources and new dimensions, since we've mined all our own. Because of course it is. We suck. And to further reinforce that we suck, we meet Victor Von Doom. You know, the king of Latveria? Or no, I mean, the evil rich billionaire? No. I mean, the incel hacker man, who's a misanthrope who hates humanity. Yeah, no, this is the worst version of the character I've ever seen. It's so lame. He is not a billionaire. He is not king of Latveria. He is little incel hacker man. And you know where the name Doctor Doom comes from? It's his nickname given to him by Sue, seeing as they used to have a relationship prior to this movie. Which I actually thought was going to be interesting. I was like, okay, so in this version he has the relationship with Sue instead of Reed. But they don't flesh that out at all, except for him getting kinda jealous in a montage later. And you might have noticed we're missing a fourth member from our Fant4stic Four, and that's when we meet Johnny, who's currently street racing. And I guess this means Johnny is a kid after all? If Reed and the others are all 18 and he's traditionally younger. That, or he and Sue are just closer in age in this version, and he's also 18. Again, don't think about it too hard, the movie doesn't either. So Johnny joins the team, and they finish the teleporter via the power of montage. And wow, would you look at that, all the character development and bonding is happening off-screen. They must be the best of friends. If only I could see or experience that naturally. And of course this montage is interrupted by another forced cringe romance scene between Sue and Reed. And, you know, this scene, it's very important. You couldn't go without it, because it gives us the exposition of how Sue is white, but her dad is black.
Cool with the Dr. Storm as your dad?
Yeah.
Did he adopt you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know what that's like.
You were adopted?
No, I just wish that I was.
Because, yeah, we needed that answer. Reed had to ask that question. She can't just have a black dad. There's gotta be a reason, right? You know, it's not like mixed race families exist or anything. God, this movie's so stupid. So it's test day, and they send a monkey to what they're calling Planet Zero. And even though earlier in the movie Sue said that they will need protective suits, the monkey just goes naked because the script of this movie was written by 3 different people at 3 different times, and it doesn't remember what it's told us at this point. Unfortunately, while the test is successful, the team gets denied taking the trip themselves, which, yeah, anybody could have told you that. Typically, the people building the rockets aren't the people going up into space. So they drunkenly decide to teleport themselves, making it that this time the accident is caused by them being dumb kids. And honestly, I was kinda into it. I was like, okay, this is an alternate take. This makes it more scary/tragic that it was a dumb drunk decision. But then Sue doesn't even get to go. They call Ben, and Ben, Victor, Reed, and Johnny are the 4 who go to Planet Zero, while Sue stays behind to monitor from the station. Well, I guess it's better than her being naked. At least we're promised that Vanessa Kirby is going to have much bigger a role than this version. So we get to Planet Zero, and it's just a bunch of rocks. Anything they could have ever come up with for an alien planet, and it's just rocks on a really bad green screen. And as anybody could have predicted, everything goes wrong and Victor gets lost, and the others are all transformed. And this is where the best part of the movie kicks in, because their powers are terrifying in this context. These next 15 minutes of the movie are the only interesting stuff in this movie, even if it's not coherent. In this scene, the origins of their powers come from basically almost the way they die due to the malfunctioning machine. Like, Johnny is literally burning to death. Ben is buried by rocks. Reed is stretched out by fallen debris, and Sue is shifting uncontrollably on the light spectrum. Which, hers is the only one that's not that scary, because she wasn't part of the mission, so she just got hit with some extra radiation. It's fine. I say it's fine, as if turning invisible against your will would not be terrifying. And yeah, like I said, this is the best part of the movie, the horror of their powers, because this would be life-changing and devastating for children. But again, before we can even flesh this out at all, Reed escapes the facility, the government hires Ben, and we skip forward 1 year. And I hope you're ready for some more off-screen exposition as we learn that everyone knows how to control their powers now. And clearly, this is where all the reshoots and cuts happened, because that CG on Johnny outside the plane window rivals the 1994 movie. Which is strange because I think he looks good in every other shot of the movie. But you know what doesn't look good? That crazy wig on Sue's head. When the cast returned for reshoots, Kate Mara had already changed her hair for another movie and contractually could not change it back. So she was forced to wear a wig. And my god, I don't know what the stylist was doing, but Sue's hair literally changes length, color, and style in every scene in this back half of the movie. All that being said, I do think Reed building his own shitty version of the containment suit is cool. And speaking of Reed, the government is now here to arrest him. And this is the one stretchy powers fight scene you get in the movie. This is also like the only time in the movie we're outside the facility, so you better savor it. Which is crazy, because the marketing literally uses New York as the backdrop in all the posters and promo material. But we never go to New York outside of those opening minutes. I desperately need this team to go outside and touch some grass. But this fight scene doesn't last long because Ben then arrives to capture Reed in the most hilarious way.
This is all my fault. That we can agree on.
Now, the past 3 Fantastic Four movies have chosen to make Ben via practical effects. In this one, they decide to make him a giant CGI monster. And now that we can see him clearly in the daylight, while the design looks like a piece of Popeye's chicken, the VFX are actually pretty good. And since there's like 10 minutes left of this movie, we gotta start wrapping things up. So Reed fixes the teleporter, which brings back Victor. And I can't even begin to fathom this Doctor Doom design. Like, I get what they are going for. It's, again, horrifying like everybody else that he looks like this because it's his containment suit melted to his body. But the execution isn't great here. He looks like a putty from Power Rangers rather than his armor in the comics. Which I think it's just a translation issue, since I think that this design actually looks okay in this poster that I'm showing you right now. But I don't think it translates well to a physical costume. And like we established at the beginning of the movie, Victor hates humanity, so he escapes the facility in the second best, maybe the best scene in the movie. This is where it shifts purely into horror, as he literally goes around blowing people's heads up and throwing people around. And you might ask, what's his motivation? What's he trying to do? Well, it's simple. He wants to go back to Planet Zero, and he plans to destroy Earth to ensure its safety, which he absolutely does not need to do. I'm sure if you just said, I want to go live on Planet Zero, they would let you, / clearly, as we see by his power, who's gonna stop him? But on the way out, he kills Dr. Franklin for no reason, in what is maybe the most horrifying death of all. While he just popped everybody else's heads like grapes, he literally fries Dr. Franklin with radiation, which, again, terrifying. I really think the horror elements are interesting in this movie, but they're so far and few between. And he returns to Planet Zero, where he puts back on his comfort blanket to give him his iconic hood. And I get it. I too have a favorite blanket, Victor. So the team follows him to Planet Zero, where we head in for the final battle. And this is where it's a big sky beam, as we were doing in the 2010s. as we learn that Victor has created a black hole that will destroy Earth. Yes, that Chekhov's gun all the way back at the beginning where they said if you mess up the portal, it'll become a black hole. Here you go. This time it belongs to the villain. And I'm just going to say the Fantastic Four here aren't winning any awards for saving any lives. Like, a lot of people probably died during this. We see so much stuff get sucked into the black hole. But don't worry, it's an easy solution as Reed comes up with the simple solve of defeat Doom and the portal will stop. And before resorting to violence, Reed attempts to plead for Victor to stop, to which he replies,
There is no Victor. There is only Doom.
And this line would actually go really hard in a better movie or with a better Doom. We could actually feel the loss of his character or be afraid, no, Victor, don't do it. But instead it's like, oh yeah, it was that incel guy that got lost, earlier, 45 minutes in the movie. Okay, so yeah, shocker, he's evil. So this is where they work as a team to knock Doom into the black hole as we see Reed distract him, Sue makes Ben invisible, Ben punches Doom into the black hole while Johnny collapses the black hole in on itself. Again, not a bad idea. This movie and the 2005 film were the only ones to have them work together to take him down. And then the movie quickly wraps up as we get the only shot of the four of them outside this entire movie. It's nothing like an entirely indoor movie to make you miss going outside. And they get a facility of their own where they then decide to name their team, with this cute little moment between Reed and Ben.
Gotta say, it's fantastic.
Say that again?
It's fantastic.
I say cute little moment. I guess I should say it would be cute in a different movie. Here, it's just out of place in this dark and edgy reboot that it kind of doesn't deserve this quirky little ending. And that was 2015's Fant4stic. Golly, can I just say, it's a miracle this movie exists at all. It is clearly a Frankenstein movie filled with reshoots and rewrites galore. None of the characters develop, none of the plot beats stay consistent, and overall nothing really happens because we constantly have to skip through time and show everything via montage. The horror stuff is really cool in this version, but it only makes up like 10 minutes of the runtime. This movie is only 100 minutes long, but it feels like 1,000, and that's why I really can't recommend that you watch it like I have the other three. Like, I guess if you want to form your own opinion, go for it, but it's going to take you some time. So with that being said, we've now watched all 4 of the original Fantastic Four movies, and it's time for Fantastic Four First Steps. Let's hope the universe snaps back with a better Fantastic Four movie, because this was a bummer way to end this video series. Let me know your thoughts and if you've watched Fantastic Four 2015 or Fant4stic in the comments down below. I did not enjoy this movie, but maybe it has its defenders. Let me know. If you liked what you saw here and want to see more, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know when that next one's coming. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.